Just got busy and forgot to turn the darn camera on. Welcome back to the channel. Sunday once again. Worked long yesterday getting the passenger side slider welded in and the outriggers and some of the floor. So now that I've figured out what I want to do, I'm going to film how I'm going to do the other side. Now I've got all the secrets unlocked. To give you a tidbit of what we've done here. They are with the sliders. Now I just cut just over the radius all along the front, and then I came through and cut along here. As you can see, got some of the floor in. There's my basic outline, what it's going to be. Not everything is fully welded yet, but this is what it looks like underneath. Should be fun doing those bottom welds. Gravity is definitely working against you. So let me put you back on the tripod. I've got the my line scribed on the inside there. Outside is pretty much just already marked because that's where the bend is. That's where I'm cutting it. Got myself set up over there. And let's get this rocker dropped. All right, hitch my pants back up because my belt's gone missing. So plugged in here, that about there. Go ahead and cut the outside first, because the inside's got a lot of, well, this side's got more rust than the passenger side did, but all the seam sealer, and when you cut through it, makes a lot of smoke. Funs. Need a fresh wheel. And now for the fun one. First and foremost, gotta take the seat mount out. There you can see we got what was left of the rocker out. You can see really not a whole lot there. But it just makes my job easier because it's a trail rig. Get the mess cleaned up. I gotta get the flare off on this side, and I can finish up that end. Once that's done, duplicate the slider on the other side, get some jack stands over here, get it put into place, start cutting the outriggers. We'll be right back. Welcome back. So I started cutting this and my blade snapped, and I didn't film any of that because my neighbor's dogs were out. And they were having a fit because my dogs were out. But they have since gone inside. Mine are just chilling around here on the deck. But yesterday I went out and bought myself a Harbor Freight portable bandsaw stand. So far it's been working great, real happy with it. Could use a few improvements, and we'll figure those out along the way. Mainly just get a clamping system. They want to use a modified vice grip, but for now it works. Getting the slider cut to length, and then I'll cut 45s in it. The reason I'm not just cutting a 45 on this end is because it hits the saw on the backside here and you can't make a clean cut. So let's get this thing cut to length. Cut the length, set the saw up for 45 degrees. Since it's so heavy, it's just easier to work the saw around the piece. And what I'm doing right now is I don't want to cut through the upper thickness. There's no reason to. So I'm lining up the saw blade to cut just along the inside edge of it. And I'm hoping I can do it on 2-inch, 2-inch. I'm hoping I clear on 2-inch, 4-inch. Okay, unfortunately the saw would not cut the sliders completely. And I had to go ahead and cut them off the grinder. So they're done, cleaned up. Now I need to make the end plates. Just some 3/16 plate, 2 1/4. Yeah, by what I figure, looks to be about 3 3/4. If I remember correctly. I just continued my line on from what I had made the other two. So let's get these cut. Actually, I don't need my gloves for these. Get my pieces cut, get them dressed up here, clean up real quick, check my weather. We're supposed to have some really bad storms moving in, so I'm trying to get as much as I can that I need to do out here done, and then I can go inside and finish the rest. So let's get these dressed up. Just moved out of the way here. There we go. Gets my plates made. And where I want them. Drag the welder out here, get them tacked up, welded up. Then I complete a slider and we can move inside. But there's no sense me just showing you some welding stuff because I can't have the door open and get talking. It's all good craziness. Let me get these welded up. We'll rejoin inside. All right, got the end caps on. You can see they're still pretty smoking hot. It's a bit of a chore to do out here. It's quite a breezy day. Unfortunately, this is the only place I got to weld something this long. So, did the best I could. It actually turned out overall pretty good. I mean, so I'm gonna take the grinder, go around the edges to smooth it up a little bit. We'll let it cool off. We'll carry it in, move the jack stands over. We'll get this thing put in position. And then we can make sure my lengths for my outriggers are the same as the other side. If everything's correct, it should be, or at least fairly close. Would imagine it'd be a slight difference, but get this cleaned up. There, this takes the bumps off of it. You can see they're still smoking hot. So, okay, let this cool off. We'll move inside. I need to go check my weather. See if I can keep the saw out here or not, if I need to move it in. Like I said, we're supposed to get possible tornadoes and stuff today. We've gone from a moderate risk to very increased risk, so it's Ohio, it's springtime. We do this every year. Get set up inside and we'll continue. Welcome back to the channel. Been a couple of days. Did some things off camera. I got the lower half of the rear cross member done and it's welded in. I'm working on getting the outriggers for the driver's side slider put into place. I have some material clamped underneath here and over here to support it. Got squared to the frame. Where'd my square disappear to? Yep, it's still square. Get this thing welded up. We'll get the second one welded up. And that'll be, get this side almost matching to this side. So let's get busy here. You can see I went out and got myself a welding jacket. Got tired of catching sparks. I also picked up a magnetic ground. Got tired of trying to find places to clamp. Making improvements. Oh! My torch. Keep my square handy. Just tacked in. In there. Oh. The joys of not having a lift. See if I can do this without stabbing myself with the piece I got sticking out here. Ooh. Got one over the back of the head. Oh. Need that for the next one. Oh, it's so much easier when you're not laying on your back. Around the end there. All right, let's get the next one set up. All right, tacked on that end. Now I get to play some gymnastics again. Ooh, that popped it up high, didn't it? Pulled up on me. See if I can pull it down. That brought it down. Bottom tacked in here. I go over to the bottom. Try not to knock the hatch over again. That one jumped right over the hat. Goodness gracious. Some really nice looking welds and some not so nice looking welds, but they will hold. I never claimed to be a professional welder by any stretch of the imagination, and I definitely try to do the best I can. Part of it is just awkward positions and old eyesight. All right, we'll take a break. We'll start making some pieces for the floor. Be right back. All right, I made my 2 floor pieces here. I could have brought this one out the same distance, 8 inches, but I'm trying to plan ahead and for the future. If I decide to do a doubler, we'll need the extra room back here because everything's going to move back. So go ahead and build that in to begin with so I don't have to go back and modify the floor later. Now, will I do a doubler? I don't know. But I try to think what might take place in the future. So might as well do it correctly to begin with, or build it in to begin with so I don't have to modify it later. Standard pieces with some 1x2. Got them squared the frame, and then I've got them cut at an angle to match up with the kicker. I got them squared the frame. Let's get these things tacked in place. All right. Now for the gymnastics. Oh goodness. Let that cool down. The pipe on here, or excuse me, the tubing here is a little thinner than 1/8 inch. You know, I was just hit the edge. I got the welder cranked up obviously heavy to weld the heavier stuff, and it was just burning through it. So you just gotta go slow and just tap up to the thinner stuff. Then it gets hot, it gets even harder to do. So at this point, need to figure out the piece of, obviously it's 1 inch like I had over here. Let's knock it out of the way for the time being. And that will make the outline of my floor. Now I have to do the upper half of the cross member here. So I need to cut a couple of pieces, get those cut and welded to the top piece, and we'll rejoin you then. Welcome back. Had some dinner. Got a lot done here. Didn't film a lot of it. Just got busy and forgot to turn the darn camera on. Anyway, working on the rear cross member here. Somehow, I guess I need to cut my centerpiece down. Should have been, everything measures out the way it should. I don't know, there's a bit of a bow, must be in the lower piece. So I'll cut that middle piece down and that'll bring that side down. That'll complete the rear cross member. As you can see, I did some of the floor. And I can't go around the other side because the garage door's shut because it's pouring down rain. But this side you've already seen, but I went ahead and did the driver's side here. So that's the lower part of the floor. From here, once I get the cross member put in, the rest of the way, that'll finish that, like I said. Then I still haven't decided on the tunnel, but finish out building the tunnel in 1 inch square. The reason this is pushed up so far is I want a clearance for my 4-link brackets, which stick up several inches above the top of the frame here. I'm trying to build this as low as I possibly can. I'm trying to do a low CG build on this. So I'm trying to get it up and in the frame as much as I can. That's where I'm at right now. Oh goodness. Sorry guys. It's what, almost 9 o'clock at night now, and I've been working on this since 2. So let me flip you around here. So that's what we've got done so far. Tomorrow, got some things to do in the morning, but hopefully in the afternoon, we'll start the next stage of this build, which is working on building the plate for the 4-link and getting the 4-link brackets built up. That's what's next. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.